this video is about solving and graphing inequalities. Okay? Now remember, when you're solving inequalities, do not replace the inequality sign with an equal sign. You will treat the steps like when you're solving a normal equation. Okay? But you will keep the inequality sign. Do not replace it with an equal sign. Okay? Alright. So, as usual, if something is added or subtracted to our variable, we will get rid of those first. Okay? So we have a 7 subtracted from our variable, so we do the reverse operation. So the reverse operation of subtraction is addition, so we add 7 to both sides. So x is less than or equal to 4 plus 7, 11. This is our solution. The graph of it is, whenever you're graphing a one variable inequality, you will always use a number line to graph it. Okay? So my solution is 11. That's what I'm mostly interested in. I could go ahead and put 12 here. I could go ahead and put 10 here, but it really doesn't matter. I'm just interested in my solution here. Now, if you have less than or greater than, you'll use an open circle in graphing it. If you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you use a closed circle. Okay? So because we have less than or equal to, we have a closed circle right here. And the direction in which the arrow is, the sign is pointing, your arrow will point in the same direction. So here's the tip of my sign. It's pointing to the left, so my arrow will go in the left as well. And that's the graph of it. Okay, second one. First thing you'll do is to distribute the parentheses. So 2 multiply every term inside the parentheses. So 2 times x, that is 2x, plus 2 times 2, that is 4, is greater than 10. Again, 4 is added to our variable, so we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. And that cancels. So we have 2x is greater than 10 minus 4, that is 6. And 2x means 2 times x, so the 2 is multiplying our variable. So we do the reverse operation, which is division. We divide both sides by 2. So x is greater than 3. This is my solution. Okay? The graph of this thing, as I said before, we're just interested in our solution, which is 3. Now, because this is just greater than, if we come back here, greater than, we're using an open circle. So we have an open circle here. The tip of my sign is pointing to the right, so my arrow will go to the right as well. Alright? Of course, you could go ahead and put 4 here if you want, and 2 here if you want, whatever. Okay? But I just want my solution there. Alright, let's look at 2 more examples. Alright, so this one has a little bit more steps, but it's the same procedure. Okay? Now, usually when you're solving inequality, you want your variable to be on the left side and your constant to be on the right. Okay? So I go ahead and subtract 5x from both sides, and that cancels. 3x minus 5x will give us negative 2x plus 1, because we did not use the 1, is less than or equal to 9. As usual, anything that is added or subtracted to a variable, we want to do the reverse operation there. So 1 is added to our variable, we subtract 1 from both sides. Alright? So 2x, negative 2x, is less than or equal to 9 minus 1, that is 8. Now, negative 2x means negative 2 times x. So we're going to do the reverse operation, which is dividing by negative 2. But remember that whenever you divide or multiply by a negative, the original inequality sign will change to its opposite. So if it is less than or equal to, after you divide or multiply by the negative, it will change to greater than or equal to. If it was just less than, after you multiply or divide by the negative, it will change to greater than. So this will cancel. Negative divided by negative is positive. By virtue of this negative 2, we divided by negative 2, the sign will change now to greater than or equal to 8 divided by negative 2, that is negative 4. So this is the solution here. And the graph of it, as we said before, our solution is negative 4. Because it is greater than or equal to, we have a closed circle. The tip of the sign is pointing to the right, so my arrow goes to the right as well. And that's the graph of it there. Okay? This one is the same thing. We want all our x's to be on the left, so we go ahead and subtract 4x on both sides. So 7x minus 4x, that is 3x minus 2, is greater than 10. Now negative 2, we're taking 2 from our variable, so we want to get rid of that, so we add 2 to both sides. Alright, so that will leave us with 3x is greater than 10 plus 2, that is 12. Now if you look at it, this is positive 3x, okay? So we divide this thing by 3, by positive 3. So x is greater than 12 divided by 3, that is 4. It is not negative 4, it's positive 4 because we divided by a positive, okay? And the only time the sign will change, is if you multiply or divide by a negative. But we just divided by a positive, so the sign remains the same, alright? So our graph of this thing is, we have a 4 here. It is just greater than, so we have an open circle. The tip of the sign is pointing to the right. My arrow goes to the right as well. And that's it for this video. Have a fantastic day.